The cabin lights were dim, casting a soft glow over the rows of seats in economy. Passengers shuffled in with carry-ons, trying not to bump into elbows and knees as they claimed their spots. It was the usual pre-flight chaos. Overhead bins clicking shut, murmured complaints about leg room, and the occasional shriek of a toddler. In the middle of it all sat a woman in seat 23B. Her name was Vanessa Cole, mid-40s, black, poised, dressed in a simple gray turtleneck and slacks, hair pulled back in a low bun, with just a leather satchel tucked under the seat in front of her. Nothing flashy, nothing to hint at her importance. She sat calmly, glancing out the window at the jet bridge as it detached. There was something observant in her eyes, like she wasn't just here to fly. She was watching. A flight attendant brushed past her aisle, then stopped, then took a second look. "Excuse me," the woman said sharply, leaning down toward Vanessa with a stiff smile. "Are you sure you're in the right seat?" Vanessa blinked slowly, then nodded. "Yes, Europe at the Mundrapi." The attendant's smile tightened. We just don't usually see coach passengers dressed so elevated. You must be used to flying somewhere else." Vanessa's brow lifted. "Is that a problem?" The attendant, her name tag read Camille, gave a short fake laugh. "Of course not. We're just used to seeing a different type of clientele in our luxury cabins. We like to keep coach comfortable, but realistic. You know?" It was subtle, but the message was clear. You look like you don't belong. Vanessa didn't respond. She reached for her seatbelt and clicked it into place with quiet composure. Camille gave her one more glance and muttered under her breath as she walked away. Hope she doesn't expect champagne back here. What Camille didn't know, what no one in coach knew, was that Vanessa wasn't just another economy passenger. She had specifically booked this seat. In fact, she had handpicked it. Because Vanessa Cole wasn't just a passenger. She was the owner of the very airline they were flying on. And this flight? This was a test Camille was about to fail. Camille strutted down the aisle like she owned it, chin high, shoes clicking softly on the narrow path. She gave charming smiles to passengers in business class and offered extra pillows to those in row 10. But when it came to coach, her energy shifted, her tone clipped, her smile thinned. Vanessa watched it all. She didn't need to take notes. She remembered everything, every delayed glance, every dismissive tone, every time Camille skipped over a passenger in favor of someone more presentable. The man across the aisle, a young father with a crying baby, asked for water twice. Camille passed him both times. The elderly woman in 25D struggled to put her bag overhead. Camille saw, then looked away. And Vanessa? She had been given a lukewarm coffee with a sigh, like she'd asked for too much. It wasn't just rudeness. It was a pattern. Vanessa had run secret evaluations on her company's flights before. She'd disguised herself in coach, sat quietly, watched how staff treated people when they thought no one important was looking. This wasn't her first flight like this, but it might have been the worst one yet. She adjusted the gold ring on her finger, engraved with her family's initials. CA, Cole Aviation, a legacy built from scratch. Her father had started the company with 2 planes and a bold vision. Vanessa had grown it into one of the most luxurious global airlines on the map. Their first-class experience was the stuff of legend. Imported linens, Michelin star meals, private cabins. But Vanessa knew the real brand was built in economy, where the majority flew, where impressions were quietly formed. And here, Camille was failing that brand with every snide comment. Midway through the flight, Camille returned to Vanessa's row, holding a tray of snacks. "You want pretzels? Or do you want to act like this is first class too? She asked, with a smirk. The audacity nearly pulled a laugh from Vanessa. But instead, Vanessa looked Camille in the eye and said softly, "Pretzels are fine." Camille blinked, caught off guard by the calm confidence. "Thank you," Vanessa added, her tone level, measured but with something else behind it. Camille turned and moved on, not realizing she'd just made a career-altering mistake. Because in less than an hour, she'd be face-to-face with the woman she'd mocked, the woman who could decide her future with a single sentence. And this time, Vanessa wouldn't be in coach. As the plane began its descent, Camille smoothed her uniform and dabbed on a bit of gloss in the galley mirror. First class would need attention soon, especially since they'd been told that a special evaluator from corporate was on board today. Camille was excited. She'd always known she'd rise above coach someday. A good impression here could mean a promotion to premium service staff, maybe even international routes. She'd already rehearsed her lines, her smile, her charm. She had no idea she was rehearsing for her own reckoning. After landing, the flight crew prepped for deboarding, starting with first class. But just as passengers began to unbuckle, the lead purser approached Camille with a clipboard. "You're needed at gate 12, she said. "VIP escort requested." Camille blinked. "Me?" "Yes, immediately. The evaluator's asking to meet you personally." Camille's heart fluttered with pride. This was it, her moment. She marched down the jet bridge, heels clicking confidently, until she turned the corner into the private lounge, and froze. There, seated calmly in a cream armchair with a glass of water, was Vanessa Cole, the same woman from 23B, only now, her gray sweater had been replaced by a sleek, black blazer with the Cole aviation insignia pinned to the collar. Camille's face paled. "Ms. Cole?" she stammered. Vanessa looked up slowly. "Ah, Camille." Silence. Heavy, measured. "I wanted to thank you," Vanessa said, voice smooth as silk. "Your service gave me the clearest view of how my economy passengers are really treated." Camille opened her mouth. No words came out. Vanessa stood, her posture effortlessly regal. "I believe in luxury, but not just in leather seats and fancy wine. Luxury is dignity, kindness. It's how we treat everyone on board, not just the ones who can afford to recline flat." I didn't know," Camille whispered. Vanessa gave a tight, almost pitying smile. "Exactly." She stepped past Camille, pausing only once. "Your supervisor will speak to you shortly. As for your future with this airline, that's a conversation we'll be having soon." Camille stood frozen, her carefully built confidence unraveling. Vanessa didn't look back. She walked toward gate 1A, where her private jet waited on standby. No fanfare, no entourage. Just a quiet woman with power, grace, and a memory that didn't forget. Poetic justice had just taken flight.